Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. Please, as you are watching this video, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Please, if you know you are preparing for 2024 UTME, Post-UME, WAEC, NECO, GCE, and nursing examination, so please chat me up on this number 09160 so that I can add you up to my WhatsApp group. Sorry. Now, in our previous class, I told us that we are going to be starting from scratch, all right, on every science subject. So, in our previous class, we introduced what biology is. I gave you all the features of living things, Mr. Ninja card, all right. So, we partially treated movement. We said the movement is the ability of an organism to move from one place to another in search of food, shelter, space, and what? Mates. And we have two types of movement. We have passive movement and active movement. Active movement is otherwise called locomotion. And it is the active movements that animals possess, all right? However, under passive movement, we have three subdivisions, which are the tropic, nastic, and tactic movement, all right? Tactic movement is also possessed by certain insects and some macroscopic organisms. Now, we have on the board a passive movement. Passive is just like, it's not active, it's like a part of the body of the organism is what is involved in what? In the movement. Now, we have three types. I said we have the tropic movement, all right? We have the nastic movement, all right? And we have the tactic movement. These are the three types of movements. Please, JAM does not joke with this topic. They don't at all. So please, as you are watching, endeavor to just pay proper attention, okay? Now, tropic and nastic movements, they are both non-directional movements, right? Tropic and nastic movements are both non-directional movements. But as for the tactic, it is what? Directional. Please take note of that. Tactic is directional, but as for tropic and nastic movement, they are both non-directional, okay? Which means that the direction is not specific, all right? They don't have a particular direction in which they respond. Okay. Now, the first one we have here is what? Tropic movement. What is the meaning of tropic movement? Tropic movement is a type of non-directional movement in which a part, look at the word there, in which a part of a plant is a non-directional type of movement in which a part of a plant move in response to a given stimulus. It is a type of movement that is non-directional in which a part of a plant move in response to a given what? Stimulus, all right? A part of a plant, and it is what? Non-directional, okay? It could be positive or what? Negative. It is positive when the organism moves towards the stimulus. When it moves towards the stimulus, that is positive, and it is negative, when the organism moves away from the stimulus. So towards is positive, away is what? Negative. Alright, so which means it could be positive or negative in form, okay? I said when it's positive, the organism moves towards the stimulus, but when it's negative, the organism moves away from the stimulus. Alright. Now, since we are referring to response to a given stimulus, now the question is, what are the stimuli that the part of a plant responds to? Let me erase this two and leave this one. What are the stimuli that such plants respond to? All right, they may respond to light. Response to light is photo. Response to Okay, let me do like this. Hold on. Response to light, since we are referring to tropic movement, because what? Phototropism. Response to light is what? Phototropism. And we have chemical. Response to chemical is what? Chemotropism. Chemotropism. All right. Now we have response to water. Response to water. Water is hydro, right? So it becomes hydrotropism. All right. That's response to what? Water. Then you have gravity. Response to gravity is what? Geotropism. All right. Response to shadow. Response to shadow is what? Scototropism. Response to shadow is what? Scototropism. Then response to tendril or touch is called what? Thigmotropism. Past question. Thigmotropism. All right, so these are the various stimuli that the part of a plant responds to. I said tropic movements is a non-directional type of movement in which an organism moves, that is, in which a part of a plant moves in response to a given stimulus. It could be positive or negative. It is positive when the organism moves towards the stimulus, and it is negative when the organism moves away from the stimulus. When it responds to light, it's photo, chemical, chemo, water, hydro, gravity, geo, shadow, scoto, tendril, tigmo. All right. So please take note of this. Very, very important. Now, using a diagram to explain what I have here, it is very, very easy. Jam will ask you, the shoot of plants is dash. The shoot of plants is dash. We do not know. So let's use a diagram to actually explain it. You know, sometimes diagrams tend to explain certain things properly. So I assume here this region here to be the tap roots, and these are the roots. All right, and you have on the roots root hairs, and you agree with me that this region you have water, you have chemical and whatever. All right, so this long region is actually called the shoot. This is shoots, this is the root, right? This region is the roots. You have roots, and also around this region you have water. Also around this region you have chemical, right? But this region does not have light, no light. All right, no light. Down, you know, gravity is downwards, right? So which means if the root is going downwards, it is going towards gravity. So I can write here gravity. Now, here I have, let me assume I have the leaves. It's good we use diagrams to explain certain things for a better understanding. This is just a sketch, you understand? So, from what I have here, let me assume here to be the light source. Alright, light source. I told you response to light is phototropism. Response to chemical, chemotropism. Response to water, hydrotropism. Response to gravity is geotropism. Response to shadows, scototropism. Response to tendril or touch or contact, it is called what? Thigmotropism. Now, from what we've illustrated, now that the leaves will definitely bend towards sunlight for what? Photosynthesis. Therefore, you see the leaves, since they are bending towards sunlight, all right, you say it's what? Positive phototropism. Positive phototropism. They are, look at, they are bending towards sunlight, all right? But in another case, when the sunlight is excess, let me illustrate the sunlight like maybe source of sunlight. Maybe you have a leaf bending away. All right, the leaf is bending away from the excess sunlight. Since it's bending away, it becomes what? Negative what? Phototropism. Because excess sunlight can actually result in the death of the plant. So it means that moderate sunlight is required, not excess sunlight. So from what we have explained, when the leaves bend away from sunlight, excess sunlight, you say this word negative phototropism. Just as we have here, this one is bending towards sunlight, and it's positive what? Phototropism. Now the shoot of plant is actually growing upwards. The shoot of plant is growing upwards. Therefore, you say it is positive phototropism and negative geotropism. I believe you know the reason it is called negative geotropism. It is growing against gravity. Right? It is growing against gravity. Against. You are moving away from it. So it is what? Geotropic movement. That is negative geotropism. That is, it is moving against gravity or away. You know that down is towards, right? So the shoot of plants is positive phototropism, however negative geotropism. What about water? I think it's the region you have water. If the shoot is growing away from water, what does that tell you? It means that the shoot is negative geotropic and negative hydrotropic. Yeah. The shoot of plants, the shoot is growing upwards. It's growing away from the region we have water. So it becomes what? Negative hydrotropism. And negative geotropism is growing against gravity, but it is positive phototropic because it is growing towards sunlight. So that is this region. Let's come to this region where you have roots, water, no light, and gravity. Now the roots, they are growing towards water. Look at it, they are growing towards water. So you call that what? Positive hydrotropism is water, right? Positive hydrotropism. What about the roots? The roots is positive hydrotropism because it's bending towards water. Then the roots is also positive geotropism because it's bending towards or is growing towards gravity. So the roots is both positive hydrotropic and positive geotropic, all right? But in terms of, since we don't have sunlight here, the root therefore is now negative phototropic because light is upwards, it is growing away from light. Look at light is around this region where it's growing away. Then you say this word negative phototropic, all right? This region, moderate amount of chemical is also needed for the effective growth of plants, all right? So they bend towards chemical, so you call that word positive chemotropism, all right? Positive chemotropism. Now please, the instrument used to measure response to gravity is called clinostat. The instrument used to measure response to gravity, it is what? Clinostat. Take note of that. Let me conclude by saying that the leaves of a given plant, when they are bending towards sunlight, positive phototropic, the shoot growing upwards, positive phototropic, growing against gravity, negative geotropic, growing away from water, negative hydrotropic. Now this leaf bending away from sunlight is what? Negative phototropic. Around this region you have water. The roots of a given plant is both positive geotropic and positive hydrotropic. But the root of plant is negative phototropic because it's bending away from what? From sunlight, all right? Then what about chemical? It is positive chemotropism. That is for one illustration. If I have another one, a similar illustration, Okay, let me bring it here. Let me use this same diagram I have here. In this case, if the roots are bending like this, if they are bending away from water, so everything I explained here becomes opposites to these ones. All right. Now the roots, they are bending away from water. All right. It becomes a negative hydrotropism, and they are bending against gravity. It becomes a negative geotropism. All right. They are bending away from chemical. We call that what? Negative chemotropism. Is that not correct? Then shoot, the same thing. Shoot remains the same. All right. So please take note of that. With this diagram, there's no question that will keep you confused, so long you've been able to carefully listen to my explanation, right? So we have just completed the tropic movement. This region may have tendril or touch called tigmotropism, like the Dascara species, all right? That is, they move around a given object, they attach themselves, the stem of that Dascara species, which is yam, they move around an object for what? Support or what? Attachment. Right? Such response to an object in order to attach itself to the object is called what? Tendril or what? Tigmotropism. They are actually in contact, right? They are actually in contact or what? Touch. Please, that is our tropic movement. The next one is Nastic movement. Nastic movement is also a non-directional type of movement that is neither negative nor positive. Please, tactic movement and tropic movements are either positive or negative. All right, but Nastic movement, it is neither positive nor negative. Just know that it is a type of movement that does not have a particular direction. Hence, to say it is non-directional, right? A type of plant that exhibits Nastic movements is the Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica, commonly known as what? Mimosa plant. Mimosa plant. Mimosa plant exhibits what? Nastic movements. Okay. The third type of movement, which we'll be concluding with today, is the tactic movement. Tactic movement or tactism. Tactic movement or tactism. Tactic movement or tactism is a type of non-directional type of movement in which the whole part, you see now, the whole part of the organism moves in response to a given stimulus, all right? The whole part is involved in this movement. But as for the tropic movement, a part of the plant moves, but tactic or tactism, the whole part of the body is involved in what? The movement, all right? It could be positive or negative. It is positive, just as I explained before, where the organism moves towards the stimulus, all right? And it is negative when the organism moves away from the stimulus. Same things applicable: light, chemical, water, gravity, as the case may be. Take for example now, cockroaches. You know that chemosynthetic organisms require chemical to what? To chemosynthesize. Actually, they use what? Hydrogen sulfide to carry out what? Chemosynthesis. They respond to chemical in order for them to what? Chemosynthesize. So you call that what? Positive. That is positive chemotaxism, not tropism now. Tropism is to plants. Now we are referring to microscopic organisms like the cyanobacteria, all right? Cyanobacteria. And these cyanobacteria are actually chemosynthetic and photosynthetic because they have different pigments such as chlorophyll A and B, carotenoid and xanthophylls, all right? And cyanobacteria have the ability to fix both oxygen and what? Nitrogen. They fix nitrogen using the enzyme called nitrogenase, all right? Don't worry, as time goes on, you get to know all these things. But just note that tactic movement, the whole part of the organism is involved, and it is what? Non-directional, right? It could, when you respond to light, all right, you call it that it becomes what? Positive phototaxism. Taxism, all right? Bacteria responding to, that is moving towards the source of chemical, all right? It becomes what? Positive chemotaxism. Same thing is like bacteria, right? All right. Okay. What's called Paramecium. They move towards region where there's moderate temperature. Please, good. Response to temperature is called thermotropism or thermotaxism. Yes, moderate temperature is required for green plants to carry out photosynthetic or holophytic process. So when plants, thermotropism, right? Since we're referring to plants. What about animals like the cyanobacteria, alright? Cyanobacteria and other organisms like the euglena, alright? Euglena and chlamydomonas are dual organisms, alright? They can exist as animals and what? Plant as well. So when they move towards region where there's moderate temperature, alright, you call that what? Thermotaxism, alright? Please take note of that. For example, now you have lots of cockroaches and mosquitoes disturbing your life in the house. You go to the market to buy an insecticide to kill them. That means you are a murderer. The moment you start to spray the insecticide, I think they'll wait for you, right? They'll wait for you now. They'll not waste, they don't wait. Now, since they are moving away from that chemical in which you have sprayed, that becomes what? Negative chemotaxism. Because it is the old part of the object that will move, that will waste. You understand? So please, the movement of insects away from insecticide is called what? Negative chemotaxism, not tropism or narcissism. No, it is animals, insects, taxism, plant, tropism. Please take note of that. So at this point, don't forget that the instrument used to measure response to gravity is called what? Clinostat. All right. Please, the instrument that is used to measure the rate at which a plant transpires is called what? Photometer. I did not tell you photometer, I said photometer. Photometer is the instrument used to measure the rate of transpiration in plants. What is transpiration? Transpiration is a phenomenon characterized when a plant loses water in the form of what? Gas. Alright, in the form of gas or what? Vapor. Take note of that. If you know you have learned something in today's video, please endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Do have a wonderful day.